You guys are all lumberjacks?
Here.
So, my girlfriend was over. I'll laugh right. Yeah, my girlfriend was over not so long ago, and I was busy. Like, I wasn't really busy. I was playing video games, but she was over at my apartment, and I was like, "Hey, babe, why don't you make us sandwiches?" Because I had just gone grocery shopping. She's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll make us sandwiches. You want me to iron your work clothes? I can get on my hands and knees and scrub the floor, quit my job, and have your kids. You want that?" I was like, I don't think so. I didn't mean for it to be like a big thing, but she freaked out. But then, like, fast forward a couple weeks, and she calls me hysterical because she wants me to fix her flat tire that she just got. She's on the side of the highway. And I thought about that argument. I said, "I'll be right there." Because she didn't blow me for like a week after that argument. I'm not an idiot. So I went. Same girlfriend, she says, I think it might be time for us to start talking to other people. She goes, it's just I think I need someone more mature. Like, you only clean your apartment so you can eat gummy snacks when you drop them. And like, you play with Legos all the time. And I was like, "Babe, don't make me choose between you and Legos. Because I can build you out of Legos." That's not a bluff. She knows I have the bricks, but we ended up breaking up. She said I was too much of a man-child. Yeah, too much of a man-child. What woman doesn't like men or children? Who's like a lesbian Hansel and Gretel witch? I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. So, I mean, it was doomed from the get-go. We disagreed on a lot. Mostly sex. I'm a guy. I want to have sex as often as possible. I'm totally cool with having sex every night. She wanted to have sex like every Halley's Comet, so it wasn't, we weren't like matching there. Yeah. As such, imagine how much worse it was to find out she was cheating on me a lot. She cheated on me biannually. That's twice a year with a guy. That's not the good kind where it's once a year with a girl. I don't know. So being newly single, I've tried online dating, and I signed up for this site called jdate.com. And I didn't realize this, but it's only for Jewish people. I'm Roman Catholic, like, it's whatever, but like, somebody's gonna be really disappointed. And I met this girl, and it was going really well. And finally she was like, I gotta ask, like, you don't really look Jewish, and you don't have like a Jewish last name, like, are you sure you're a Jew? And I was like, well, I'm circumcised, and I have a pretty big nose, so I'm Jewish. Doesn't work. I've been catching a lot of flirtatious glances lately from my female personal trainer on Wii Fit, and it's like, I'm just here to work out. Can you maintain some kind of professional relationship here? You guys been following Occupy Wall Street? Anybody paying attention to this? It's been getting results. Chief among them is that you get pepper sprayed if you do any of that kind of stuff. Everyone gets pepper sprayed. And if you guys watch Fox News, reporter Megyn Kelly, she said that the protesters were making too big a deal out of that pepper spray was essentially a food product. This is the part of the show I like to call, "Bitch, no the fuck it's not." Would you put mustard gas on your hot dog just because it got mustard in your name? Like, if it was that simple, cops would just put crushed red pepper on protesters like they were pizza, like, "Get out of here!" And the protesters like, It's not like that. Like, spoiler alert, being pepper sprayed is the worst thing ever. And there's a thing called, if you get sprayed too close, they have what they call the ballistic needle effect. It'll literally poke holes in your eyes. That's how abrasive it is. And now you're thinking, like, what non-rapist knows that? What are we learning about Jared today? It's a story for another time, but it's awful. And like, if it's to the point where if somebody said, "Look, I can either pepper spray you or I can shoot you in the leg," I'd be like, "You can shoot me in the nuts if it'll keep you from pepper spraying in the face." Because when I think about my future, I'd much rather not have kids than not have eyes. That's so obvious. Is there a reason Mr. Freeze and the Penguin never teamed up to take on Batman? Where they'd be like entirely too efficient? I feel like they could really help each other out. You guys ever, guys, this is actually, women, do you guys get this? I call it the piss shiver. It's like when you pee and it starts like real deep down, and guys get it a lot. I don't know if you guys, that would have been terrible if I'm finding out like I'm a little. But that means like probably I'd say like 1 in every 10 homes I go to, I end up pissing on the floor because of this stupid thing. And 0 in 10 times I clean it up. It's like a total bad. But like, I mean, we've all wet the bed past the age we should. You know what I mean? Probably within like an 8-year span, we've wet the bed. And it's weird how it happens, like, because you're always like, "Oh man, did I wet the bed, or the sheets just cold?" The sheets are never just cold. Like, in the physical universe we occupy, your sheets don't just replace themselves with cold sheets. It doesn't happen. You wet the bed. And it always happens, like, you have to pee, and then you have a dream where you pee, and then in real life you pee. But like I've had dreams where I'm banging, smoking hot chicks, and I never wake up. Like, ah, man, it's like 2 in the morning. I'm banging, smoking hot chick. I have to get up before work. I don't want to deal with this. It doesn't happen, is what I'm saying. Is there a reason nobody ever just shot RoboCop in the mouth? I have a fear of flying. My parents were trying to get us to go on a trip, and I was like, can we take a train or something like that? You have to get over this fear of flying. I was like, really, I have to? As a human being, I have to get over fear of flying. Like, if you had a bottlenose dolphin that had a fear of going to film school, like you would work with them. Like, oh, okay, bottlenose dolphin, we'll figure something out where you don't have to go to film school. But I have to get in the sky, and it's like I don't understand. And finally, they convinced me to do this. And the stewardess went through her little safety spiel. And I pulled her aside after, I was like, I'm sorry, maybe I missed this part of the thing. Where are all the parachutes at? Oh, I'm sorry, not a fucking one? Really? Wow, I feel like most of transportation is just gambling with our lives. Like airlines like, okay, Titanic, I will see your not enough lifeboats and I raise you, not a single parachute. School buses without seatbelts are like, ah, shit, I fold. Oh, I'm just gonna kill me as it is. And then it goes on. But, so, it's gotten to the point where now, whenever I fly, I pack a parachute. And it always holds me at the security, like, sir, why do you have a parachute here? Like, what the hell else would I bring that makes sense? Like, I'll bring a book and an iPod, because that would suck if I'm a million miles in the air and I'm bored. Not that I fall to my death. I'd rather be able to read the new Michael Crichton or something. I hate going to the mall. There's this one kiosk at the mall that really irks me, and that's the modeling agencies. Like, you're walking through and you see them bugging everybody, like, hey, you can be in movies, you can be in commercials. And you're like, what am I going to say to get these people off my back? And you walk by and they don't actually want shit to do. They're like, oh, nothing. Oh. And you're like in denial. You go buy a jacket just to model around, like, by them. You're hanging out with a Dippin' Dots guy, like, tell me more about this ice cream of the future. And then you get mad, like, really, you're gonna pick that guy? That guy reminds me of Two-Face from Batman, but I call him One-Face, he's just got one shitty face. And you like bargain with him, like, I'll pay for the headshots, I'll drive to the location, just let me be in this movie, and it doesn't work, and then you just get depressed. But then you get to the final stage of the 5 stages of grief, which is acceptance. You're like, I came to the mall for tennis shoes. I don't need to be in the Ghost Dad remake, that's fine. Fuck those guys. And fuck Ghost Dad. Fuck those dad. You see the acting range I have, and they don't pick me to be a mall superstar. You guys ever notice that during shaving commercials, no sooner does the guy finish shaving than just a smoking hot chick is there, like rub his face, feel a new shave. That's exactly the reason that when I hit puberty, I started shaving my balls instead of my face. And it doesn't work ever. All right. It's been a blast. You guys have been a pretty good audience. I'm not here to coddle you. You guys have been... No, I'm kidding. You guys have been a blast. Thanks for having me.